All right. Come ride with me. It's time to saddle up and ride away. There's so much to see. Don't worry, I know the trails, I know the way. I caught a gentle horse, his eyes are big and brown. He's ready to carry you the whole world round. Come ride with me. Let's ride away. Come take a chance. I'll show you where the mountains touch the sky. It's a horseback dance, and we can ride forever if we try. That dream in the distance, there for you to chase. Out in the sunrise with the wind on your face. Come ride with me. Let's ride away. The smell of the leather, the sunlight on your skin, they've got us aching to begin. The rumble of hoofbeats much stronger than wine. The dust in your hair, the light in your eyes. Come ride with me. We'll run the hills and watch the eagles soar. It's where you want to be, so tell me just what you're waiting for. We'll camp near the meadow and we'll love the night away, and saddle up again when the dawn is turning gray. Come ride with me. Let's ride away. The smell of the leather, the sunlight on your skin, they've got us aching to begin. The rumble of hoofbeats much stronger than wine. The dust in your hair, the light in your eyes. Come ride with me. We'll run the hills and watch the eagles soar. It's where you need to be, so tell me just what you're waiting for. We'll camp near the meadow and we'll love the night away, and saddle up again when the dawn is turning gray. Come ride with me. Let's ride away. Oh, come ride with me today. Let's ride away. Come ride with me today. Let's ride away.
can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hand touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never was, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, hurting runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never would. Oh, no, no. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Sweet Caroline, I believe they never could. Sweet Caroline.
Farm Credit has been supporting rural communities and agriculture with reliable, consistent credit and financial services. But do you know why Farm Credit was created? Rural enterprises and agriculture are essential, yet volatile. Farm Credit was created to help rural communities from coast to coast weather financial ups and downs. Our access to financial resources and cooperative structure have allowed us to remain strong through bad and good times.
Thanks.
Farm Credit supports the diverse financial needs of farmers, ranchers, and rural businesses. We also help rural communities thrive by financing vital infrastructure and communication services. That steady flow of credit means more jobs, more economic growth, and more investment in rural America. Today's beginning farmers are the backbone of tomorrow's rural communities. That's why Farm Credit actively supports youth leadership programs like 4-H and the FFA and makes an average of 60,000 loans to beginning farmers each year. As a network of cooperatives, each locally owned by our borrowers, Farm Credit profits are returned directly to our customers, which helps strengthen the rural economy. Our mission has always been to support rural communities and agriculture, making America strong, today and tomorrow. Visit farmcredit.com to learn more.
Streets I used to
your 2018-2019 Utah FFA State Officer Team. Your Sentinel, Carlin Winter. Your reporter, the Chloe Winner. Your treasure, Casey Jones. Your secretary, Jocelyn Bentley. Your vice president, Tristan Green. And your 2018-2019 president, Samantha Stoker.
Bang, bang, won't stop till we're legend.
Rise.
Stand up like a soldier, baby. Yeah, I know you built like that. Gun it like a holster, baby. Show them say you're wicked like that. We live where the war is raging, chasing our crazy dreams, hoping that the bridge won't cave in. So now we'll let it all go free. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. My shit don't like stepping at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rock, 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 rock. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me rockin' at the dance. My shit don't like stepping at the dance. Give me the thing, I made me light it up.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the second general session of the 91st Utah FFA Association State Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers and determine if they're at their stations and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Station by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people, in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist in directing the work of our organization. I preside over the meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
I am pleased to announce that at this, the 91st Annual Utah FFA State Convention, there are 2,049 registered members and guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here?
To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess.
May we accomplish our purposes, I now declare this second general session of the 91st Utah FFA Association State Convention duly open to the transaction of business or attention to any matter which may properly be presented.
Show them your flame to the fire. It's spraying like your name on a flyer. They wanna tame your desire, but you light it up, now your aim getting higher. I dey wait for Messiah, but until that day I'ma rise up high. I put my light in the air, I wanna see everywhere. I wanna let me see you. 2 by 2 for the sequel. 3 by 3 for my people.
Life is oldest, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. All my memories should stay. They gather around her.
We have all heard of the dynamic duo hosts of the CMAs. These two are full of jokes, stories, and entertainment. I don't want to take any more away from their time, so without further ado.
And now, the hosts of country music's biggest night for 10 years in a row, country music's biggest hosts, Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood.
Brad and Carrie couldn't make it today, so we are filling in for them in this morning's show.
Well, good thing, because I hear you are the best co-host around.
Me? That's you. I'm just ready to get this Utah FFA Chapters and Members Award show started.
Well, we can't do that before we introduce this morning's performers and award recipients.
Oh, and we have a good group this morning, y'all. Through successes, we have risen above goals and expectations. In this session, we will be introducing our finalists in public speaking events, as well as showcasing chapters who have risen above their personal records, and hear from two of our very own as they perform on the 91st award stage their retiring addresses. Our state sentinel, Carlin Winter, and our state treasurer, Casey Jones.
We will also hear the results of our Agri-Science Fair and recognize some of our greatest supporters in the Utah FFA. We can't wait to show you Utah FFA's finest in this year's session of the CMAs.
At this time, let's give a warm welcoming to our visiting state officers.
Howdy everyone, my name is Lyle Logeman from the Green Chili State of New Mexico.
Hey everyone, my name is Zachary Schulter. I'm serving as the Sentinel from the Evergreen State of Washington, home to Starbucks and more bald eagles than anywhere else in the nation.
What's going on, Utah FFA? My name is Danny Ashley, coming to you from the land of enchantment, the great state of New Mexico, currently serving as your New Mexico State Vice President.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please give a big round of applause for the National FFA Southern Region Vice President, Jordan Stowe.
FFA. How's it going? Woo! Thank you so much for welcoming me here this week. I am from Enterprise, Alabama, which is a long way from Utah. However, there is an Enterprise, Utah. Anybody from Enterprise, Utah here? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, it's fine. But thank you so much for welcoming me here this week. I have learned that seeing as so many places as a national officer, that Utah is probably the most beautiful state I've ever been to. Yeah, absolutely. I was driving down the road and I was just like, mountains. What we call mountains in Alabama, y'all would laugh at. But the best part, the scenery isn't the best part. It's definitely the people I've met here this week. So thank you so much for being so welcoming and kind, the ones I've met. You guys are phenomenal. But state convention is a really cool time. Anybody at their first state convention? A few of us? All right, any seniors in the house? Whether it's your first state convention or your last, these moments you have this week are ones like no other. So don't be afraid to make new friends, set new goals for yourself, and all in all, have a great time. So let's get day 2 of the Utah FFA State Convention started. Thank you so much.
Jordan, thank you for being here with us at the 91st Utah FFA State Convention. You'll be nothing but impressed with Utah FFA members and all of their accomplishments.
Very first performance of this session, we have a fantastic Creed speaker for you all. From the chapter of Tristan. What are you doing?
I'm flossing. All the cool kids do it.
Right. Yeah, that's not the flossing they're doing. Flossing like the dance.
The dance? What does Garth Brooks have to do with flossing?
Tristan, he doesn't have anything to do with flossing. Think we can introduce our Creed speaker now?
Of course. Please help me welcome to the stage as they present the Creed for us.
Okay.
The FFA Creed by E.M. Tiffany. I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists in the promise of better days through better ways. Even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life and hold an inborn fondness for those associations which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself, in less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community, which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Thank you.
Let's give one more round of applause for Levi for presenting the Creed. He will be representing the great state of Utah at the National FFA Convention and Expo this October. Our next awards will be given for those who participated in the Agri-Science Fair. In our first category, students study the behavior and health in animals. Please hold your applause until the end as we announce the Animal System Agri-Science Fair winners. And the winners in the Animal Systems Division 3 are, in third place, Brandon Rasmussen from Weber. Your second place, Madison Mickelson from Bear River. And the winner is Jesse Shepard from Spanish Fork. The winners of the Animal Systems Division 4 are, your third place is Cicely Brown and Aspen Hunter from Mountain Crest. Your second place is Jesse Ellsworth and Abby Peterson from Lehigh. And the winners are Ashley Olson and Russell Mangelson from Spanish Fork. The winners of the Animal Systems Division 5 are, in third place, Julie Wardle from Weber. In second place, Brandy Olson from Bear River. And the winner is Luke Chatwin from Timpanogos. The winners of the Animal Systems Division 6. In second place, Elizabeth Wilkinson and Justin Crockett from Bear River. And the winner is JC Bennett and Caleb Curl from Fremont.
Starting in 1961, Hank Williams was the first Country Music Hall of Fame inductee. Since then, there has been 136 amazing artists added to that elite group.
In 1929, the first chapter was chartered in the great state of Utah. Since then, 89 chapters have been added to our own elite group, and we couldn't be happier to welcome 2 more chapters this year. Utah FFA members and guests, please put your hands together for the presentation of charters and new chapters. American Academy of Innovations, FFA. Bingham, FFA. All right, y'all know you should be excited for our next performer from Uinta. Please give a big welcome to Sage Roethlisberger.
19 sat down at a booth cafe there, gave his order to a girl with a bow in her hair. He's a little shy, so she gave him a smile, and he said, would you mind sitting down for a while and talking to me? I'm feeling a little low. He said, I'm off in an hour and I know where we can go. So they went down and they sat on the pier. He said, I bet you got a boyfriend, but I don't care. I got no one to send a letter to. Would you mind if I send one back here to you? I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy too young for him. They told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone. When the letter said, the soldier's coming home. So the letters came from an army camp in California, then Vietnam, and he told her of his heart might be love and all of the things he was so scared of. He said, when it's getting kind of rough over here, I think of that day sitting down at the pier, and I close my eyes and see your pretty smile. Don't worry, but I won't be able to write for a while. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy too young for him. They told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone. When the letter said, the soldier's coming home. One Friday night at a football game, the Lord's Prayer said in the anthem, saying, a man said, folks, won't you bow your head for a list of local Vietnam dead? Crying all alone under the stand was a piccolo player in the marching band, and one named Red, and nobody really cared but a pretty little girl with a bow in her hair. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy too young for him. They told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone. When the letter said, the soldier's coming home, I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy too young for him. They told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again, never more to be alone. When the letter said, the soldier's coming home.
How about another round of applause for that amazing talent? From George Strait to Florida Georgia Line, and from Johnny Cash to Kelsey Ballerini. Just as country music has evolved and changed, so has the number of our members.
It is time to award those chapters who have increased their overall membership or reached 100% membership. Please welcome those to the stage.
The chapters receiving the 10% membership increase award are Beaver, Duchesne. Hurricane. Maple Mountain. Monticello. Mountain View. Orem. Roosevelt. Salt Lake Tech. San Juan. Stansbury. Tooele. Uinta. Weber. Woods Cross. The chapters receiving the 100% membership increase award are Bear River, Emory, Granite Mountain, Green Canyon, Long Valley, Manila, Monument Valley, Payson, Roots, Skyview, Spanish Fork, South Summit, Tabiona, Weber, Westlake,
Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many days.
So I'm Jake Jones, and I'm here to announce my sister, one of the biggest influences in my life. She's always been there for me, and I know that she's been loving this whole year to represent the state of Utah as your guys' state treasurer. Here, give it up for Casey Jones.
And whatever happened to Tuesday and so slow? Gone down the old man with a transistor radio. Standing in the sunlight laughing, hiding behind a rainbow's wall. Slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you, a brown-eyed girl. And you, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, just like that. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-
It's a calm spring day. The year is 2014. And 13-year-old Casey is sitting up to the kitchen counter enjoying an after-school snack. Little did I know I would soon transform from being the world's best sister to the world's worst accomplice. As my mind was occupied by the day's math homework, my older brother Jake suddenly burst into the house with a huge grin on his face. In one hand, he had a giant light bulb, and in the other, he had a box that peeped. With no time to talk, he turned around, ran down the stairs, and into the basement. Now, being the curious person I am, I decided to follow him to see what was going on. As I reached that bottom step, I could see Jake standing on his tippy toes, reaching into the window well. I approach, and that's when I saw it. The giant light bulb suspended in the middle of the window well, and beneath it lay the small, feathery body of a Rhode Island red chick. Jake, why do you have a chicken? Because it was on sale at Cal Ranch? Did you ask Mom? No, and do not tell her. Oh my gosh, my brother Jake is trusting me with this secret. Are you kidding me? There's no way I'm gonna keep this from my mom. But I'm Jake's accomplice now. If he goes down, I most certainly go down with him. Later that evening, after my mom got home from work, I did my very best to keep that chick hidden. But it began peeping louder and louder. There was no possible way I could keep it hidden any longer. So I gave Jake up, pointing towards the basement, encouraging my mom to go investigate. Now you're probably wondering why the heck you just heard a story about a chicken. You see, this was one moment that snowballed into something life-changing for my family. After giving up Jake's secret, my mom actually let us keep the chicken. And you can't own just one, so Jake brought home 3 more. It went from keeping 4 chicks in a house made of pizza boxes and duct tape to 8 chickens living in the Taj Mahal of chicken coops. From there, we branched out to owning pigs with a family friend, and eventually my family moved to our own little hobby farm. That day, back in 2014, Jake helped shape my family. This idea of being shaped from an experience is something that happens constantly. Each day we have new experiences and the opportunities to meet so many new people. And these things will all help shape us. We've all had experiences that help make us who we are, but it's not the experience itself that's important. It's our reactions and whether or not we let these things define us. Now, it's pretty much a guarantee that you're going to have at least one life experience that helps make you, you. But an experience doesn't have to be a major life changer in order to leave an impact on you. This past year has been full of amazing experiences. To name a few, I got to make sand angels to celebrate the last day of Little Hands on the Farm. I probably scared Delta FFA with my amazing singing during karaoke night. And when I was with Parowan FFA, I found the best group of Pinky Linkers in the world. Some of my favorite experiences were simply chatting with an FFA member after class and learning about their stories. Sure, these experiences may have been small, but sometimes the smallest moments leave the best memories. As you go throughout your life, take the time to appreciate those little moments. Because when you look back on what you thought were the little moments, they end up being the big moments. Now, in each of these experiences that we have the opportunity to meet so many new people. On average, a person will live to be about 78 years old. At about age 5, they began remembering the people they met. So, assuming this person interacts with only 3 new people each day 365 days a year, that totals about 80,000 people that they will meet. That's at least 80,000 interactions that you will have in your lifetime. And each person you meet will have an impact on you. One person who continues to impact my life every single day is my older brother, Jake. And yes, this is the same brother that brought home that chicken. Growing up, we did a lot together, but it wasn't until he started the 9th grade that we really grew close. But let me pause for a moment and tell you a little bit about my family. Before that whole chicken incident, my family revolved around sports. My oldest brother, Walker, he was always the star athlete, especially in baseball. Jake played sports too, but he didn't love them nearly as much. So when Jake started the 9th grade, rather than joining a high school sports team, he took an ag class, and he loved it. That's when the chicken story happened. He brought home that chicken in hopes to start his own SAE project. And after selling my mom on the idea of raising backyard chickens, he had another genius idea. He bought a pig. And he showed his pig in the local livestock show that following summer. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I just had to be like my older brother and show a pig too. So I did. Thus starting my journey in FFA. You see, Jake is the reason I am here today. If it weren't for his decision to bring home that chicken or buy that pig, I never would have started FFA. My life would be completely different right now. Jake has helped shape me into who I am, and I cannot thank him enough for that. Now, take a second to think of those in your life who have helped shape you. Have you told them thank you? Or are they walking around not knowing of the impact they've had? These people playing key roles in making us who we are don't know the strength of their own actions. It's up to us to recognize them. So we can see how our experiences and the people we meet both play a part in making us who we are. It's very important that we don't let these things define who we are. If we let the world define us, we lose sight of our true selves and we begin to feel lost. But how do we find ourselves again? You see, an illustrator by the name of Emily McDowell said, "Finding yourself is not really how it works. You aren't a $10 bill in last winter's coat pocket. You are also not lost. Your true self is right there, buried under cultural conditioning, other people's opinions, and the inaccurate conclusions you drew as a kid that became your beliefs about who you are. Finding yourself is returning to yourself, an unlearning, an excavation, a remembering of who you were before the world got its hands on you." Close quote. You see, we are never truly lost. It's the years of comparing ourselves with others and caring too much about their opinions that make us forget who we really are. And this is something I know all too well. While I was in junior high and high school, I would compare my weaknesses to someone else's strengths. And I would change who I was, all with the hopes of fitting in. It wasn't until recently I took to heart that old saying, "Be yourself." And I stopped letting the world define who Casey Jones is. You too can stop letting the world define you. Stop comparing yourselves with others. Don't care so much about their opinions. But most importantly, be proud of each decision you make, because there is only one you in this world. So let the original you shine. Now, we're going to jump back to that chicken story for just one moment. This was one experience that shaped my family, but we did not let it define us. We were still the Joneses, family of 5, going to Friday night ball games. Our lives were simply opened up to new and amazing opportunities that we loved. If it weren't for Jake and his crazy ideas, we never would have been brought into the world of agriculture, and our lives would be completely different right now. As you go throughout your life, continue to learn from your experiences, but take time to recognize those little moments. Learn from the people you meet and thank them for all they do for you. But most importantly, stop comparing yourselves with others and learn to be your true self. Utah FFA, the world will always shape you, but choose not to let it define you.
Casey, you are the best water aerobics instructor our team never knew we needed. Your love for dill pickle popcorn, moon cheese, and pork rinds will be something we never forget about you. We will miss being able to call on you for all of our technological and crafts needs. Thank you for putting state office first even while going to school, and for always being your true self. The rise doesn't stop here. Love, Jocelyn, Tristan, Carlin, Sam, and Chloe. Utah FFA for the final time, your state treasurer, Ms. Casey Jones.
And whatever happened to Tuesday and so slow? Gone down the old man with a transistor radio. Standing in the sunlight laughing, hiding high to
At least that's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright.
Just look at you, girl, standing here beside me.
Just like Chris Ledoux, writing from the heart, memorizing it, and sharing it with others around him, these prepared public speaking contestants are no different than the legend himself. These speakers memorize a 6 to 8 minute speech on an agricultural topic of their choice and present it to a panel of judges. Welcome to the stage the prepared public speaking LDE contestants. Please hold your applause until all the participants have been announced. When your name is called, please step forward to receive your award. Your area winners in no particular order are Cheyenne Breeding from Fremont, Jamie Holt from Richfield, Jenna Gallons from Tooele, J.T. Potter from Duchesne, Madison Searett from Bryce Valley, Allison Torres from Granite Mountain, Janessa Sullivan from Sky Ridge, and the third place winner in the prepared public speaking event is Jace Draper from Carbon. Our second place winner is Samantha Powell from Maple Mountain. And the winner of the 2019 prepared public speaking event is Kennedy Stubbs from Canyon View. Congratulations to all of our prepared public speaking finalists. We look forward to our state winner representing Utah at the National FFA Convention and Expo this October.
Just like John Micah Montgomery in his classic song, Sold at the Grundy County Auction, participants in the extemporaneous public speaking contest have to be quick on their feet. They have 30 minutes to prepare a 3 to 5 minute speech on an agricultural topic. It's now time to announce the winners of the extemporaneous speaking LDE. Please hold your applause until all the winners have been announced. When your name is called, please step forward to receive your award. Your area winners in no particular order. Your area winners in the extemporaneous public speaking. Shaylee Terry from Manila. Ethan Rasmussen from Lone Peak. Cameron Alley from Carbon. Trev Anderson from Enterprise. Stephanie Jordan from Grantsville. Chandler Hobbs from Royal. Jacob Jensen from Kanab. The third place winner in the extemporaneous public speaking event is Reagan Watrin from the chapter of Mountain Crest. Our second place winner is Sarah Wynn from Mount Nebo. And the winner of the 2019 State FFA Extemporaneous Public Speaking event is Brianna Harding from Maple Mountain.
Our extemporaneous public speaker winner will be representing Utah at the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. Again, congratulations to all participants. Our amazing country stars around the nation seem to be very social.
Yeah.
Tristan. Tristan?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, we were just talking about being social. Maybe you're being a little bit too social. You think we can announce our agri-science fair winners in social science now?
Of course. FFA members that compete in the agri-science fair in the social science category spend time studying human behavior and interactions in society. It is now time to announce the winners of the agri-science fair social science category. Please hold your applause until all the winners have been announced. The winners of the Social Systems Division 3 are, in third place, Brendan Rasmussen from Manila. In second place, Cass Bailey from Mountain Crest. And the winner is Casey Madsen from Bear River. The winners of the Social Systems Division 4. In third place, Jake Woodland and Isabel Yama from Mount Nebo. In second place, Hayden Golly and Morgan Walters from Manila. And the winners are Oakley Maxfield and Wyatt Stevens from Bear River. The winners of the Social Systems Division 5. In third place, Shaylee Terry from Manila. In second place, Gentry Udy from Bear River. And the winner is Lauren Moody from Harriman. The winners of the Social Systems Division 6. In third place, Chancey Pregler and Lisa Carter from Fremont. In second place, Shaylee Poppleton and Autumn Clark from Mountain Crest. And the winner is Garrett Slaw and Jordan Lucio from Manila. The king of country music, George Strait, has won Entertainer of the Year not once, not twice, but 3 times. That is a level that is hard to reach. But our honorary FFA degree recipients today have truly risen to the next level. Though they may not be Entertainer of the Year this morning, they will receive one of the highest honors awarded in this organization because of their constant support of the Utah FFA and its mission statement.
It is always a pleasure to receive honorary members into the FFA. The purpose of this ceremony is to recognize from time to time the efforts of others made on our behalf. Madam Secretary, please read the section of the National Constitution which provides for honorary membership.
Honorary membership. Farmers, school superintendents, principals, members in boards of education, chapter advisors, teachers, staff members in agricultural education, business people, and others who are helping to advance agricultural education and the FFA, and who have rendered outstanding service may be elected to honorary membership by a majority vote of the members present at any regular meeting or convention. Honorary members, please step forward when your name is called.
Haley Bass. Haley Bass is the agricultural education teacher at Bonneville High School. Haley has been teaching for 8 years and has spent time at both Woods Cross High and Lehigh High School. Haley Bass has been busy building the program at Bonneville, which is only 5 years old. She has been very active, providing leadership in Utah, and is currently serving as the president of the Utah Association for Agricultural Educators. Haley Bass, thank you for your service to Utah's agriculture teachers and the Utah FFA Association. Clyde Ellertson. Clyde Ellertson is the welding and agricultural mechanics teacher at Fremont High School. Clyde has been teaching for 33 years, first at Box Elder, then Weber High School with John Kellett, and finally at Fremont High School for 25 years. Mr. Ellertson is an institution at Fremont and in Weber District. At the end of this school year, Mr. Ellertson will be retiring. Please join me in congratulating Clyde Ellertson for his many years of teaching and for his contributions to the Utah FFA Association. Brian Fredrickson. Brian Fredrickson is an agricultural education teacher at Springville High School. He has been teaching for 10 years. Brian also taught at both Beaver High School and Provo High School before coming to Springville. Brian is also an auctioneer and announcer, and you have probably heard his deep booming voice at this state FFA convention. Thank you, Brian Fredrickson, for your service to the Utah FFA Association. Matt Hargraves. Matt Hargraves is the Vice President for Communications at the Utah Farm Bureau Federation and serves as the editor of the Farm Bureau News. Matt provides service to the Utah FFA Association in many ways. He is always willing to provide his expertise serving as a judge for various FFA leadership development events. He takes our official state officer pictures each year and then makes sure that it gets published along with every other piece of FFA news in many publications he creates. Thank you, Matt Hargraves, for the many acts of service you provide to the Utah FFA Association. Dwight and Brenda Lydiard. Dwight and Brenda Lydiard have contributed hundreds of hours and financial resources to FFA chapters and 4-H clubs in Utah County and across the state. They also organized a booster club to solicit funds to purchase livestock that is raised and shown by all students who participate in local livestock shows. Dwight and Brenda are co-owners of Circle V Meat in Spanish Fork. For years, they have opened their facilities for teaching meat science and processing. Many state and national winners started their journey at the open doors of Circle V Meat. They are the most selfless servant leaders. Dwight and Brenda, thank you for your contributions to the Utah FFA Association. Kaylee Lydiard. Kaylee Lydiard is the agricultural education teacher at Spanish Fork High School and has been teaching for 8 years. She started her teaching career at Maple Mountain High School but quickly moved to Spanish Fork, where she went to school and served as an FFA officer. Kaylee is very active in leadership in Utah County and also serves as a teacher officer for the Utah Association for Agricultural Educators. She also produces a top quality newsletter highlighting student achievement in the Spanish Fork FFA chapter. Thank you, Kaylee, for your many contributions to the Utah FFA Association. Chad Marriott. Chad Marriott is a CTE coordinator in Weber School District with responsibilities for the agricultural education program in the district. Chad was instrumental in the creation of the Weber School District Ag Facility, which serves all 4 Weber County chapters. This facility provides space for students to raise livestock projects for the county fair. He has worked hard to help secure thousands of dollars in funding to benefit the agricultural programs. He also played a pivotal role in the starting of 2 new junior high programs and has grown the Weber School District FFA advisor team from 8 to 13 teachers in 5 years. Chad Marriott is a tireless promoter of career and technical education, especially agricultural education and the FFA. Kathy Nuttall. Kathy Nuttall has been teaching for 18 years, first in the Jordan District and currently at the American Academy of Innovation Charter School. Kathy was one of the first teachers in Utah to offer courses in veterinarian science and played a huge role in developing the veterinarian science program in Utah. While in Jordan District, she planned and implemented a vet assistant program that was one of the top programs in the nation. Kathy and her students have repeatedly won recognition in both FFA and HOSA competitions. Thank you, Kathy Nuttall, for your many contributions to the Utah FFA Association. Martine Savageau. Martine Savageau started her teaching career as a woods and technology education teacher, but soon found a way to teach the subject that is her passion. For the past 12 years, Martine has offered the only service dog training program in Utah high schools. Her students receive puppies as their supervised agricultural experience program, and then spend the next 12 months caring for the dogs and teaching them the things they need to know as a service dog. The program is very rigorous, but Martine and her students have been very successful in having their dogs placed in advanced training programs. Thank you, Martine, for your contributions to the Utah FFA Association. David Schaefer. David Schaefer has been teaching for 8 years, first at Weber High School and now has returned home to Bear River High School. You may recognize him from his social media presence as one half of the dynamic ag teachering duo who use their social media presence to promote agricultural education and teaching agriculture as a fun and exciting career goal. David has been very active in providing leadership for the Utah FFA Association as an area chair and FFA advisory board member. He has also served as a teacher officer in the Utah Association for Agricultural Educators. Thank you, David Schaefer, for your contributions to the Utah FFA Association.
I welcome you as friends of the FFA. It is my privilege as Sentinel to extend to each of you the symbolic hand clasp of friendship and brotherhood.
As reporter, I am pleased to inform you that the FFA is a national youth organization whose purpose is to develop agricultural leaders. Welcome to membership.
Your contributions as a useful citizen in our democracy serves as an example for our members to follow. As treasurer, I welcome you to our organization.
The FFA needs counsel and guidance from recognized leaders. It is my pleasure as secretary to add your names to our roll of honorary members.
As Vice President, I welcome you to the FFA. I would inform you that our members learn to appreciate the dignity of labor. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom would accomplish much.
On behalf of every member, I wish to say we are proud to have you as honorary members. May this affiliation prove valuable to all. I impress upon you that we look to you for counsel and guidance. It is because of the great respect we have for you that you have been elected to honorary membership. I now confer upon you honorary membership in the Utah FFA Association and present to you this token of membership. Let's put our hands together for our next entertainer from Pineview, Annalise Schmidt. one more big round of applause. That was amazing. Hey, so T, I got this question. These country artists sing about small towns, back roads, farms, and mountains, but how many of them do you think actually live there?
I don't know about them, but I'm sure some of the FFA members in the crowds are pretty familiar with the outdoors, right?
There are some members here that have become familiar and competed in the Environmental Services and Natural Resources category of the Agri-Science Fair. If you weren't familiar and needed a little background on the outdoors, these would be the members to ask. Please join us in welcoming those competitors to the stage. Please hold your applause until all the names have been read. The winners of the Environmental and Natural Resources Systems Division 3 are, in third place, DJ Davis from the Tooele FFA chapter. In second place, Aubrey Rose from Bear River. And the winner is Bo Farnworth from the Timpanogos FFA chapter. The winners of the Environmental and Natural Resource Systems Division 4. In third place, Riggin Drury and Drew McGaines from Westlake. In second place, Caitlin Mosley and Canell Browning from Manila. And the winners are Jennifer Webb and Lily Larson from Lehigh. The winners of the Environmental and Natural Resources Systems Division 5. In third place, Deseret Crane from Mountain View. In second place, Robbie Weaver from Timpanogos. And the winner is Julia Selman from Bear River. Let's hear it for our agri-science competitors and winners one more time.
Good morning. I'm Cassidy Ballou.
And I'm Kyla Winter, and we are here to introduce someone very special to us.
He hasn't always had an easy life from the start. He was born after me.
And before me, which sandwiched him right in the middle of the two meanest girls in Nephi.
It didn't help that everything about him was, in his words, brown. He had brown hair, brown eyes, and his mom even bought him brown boots.
But there is one thing that brought him so many great experiences, and that is his blue jacket. This organization has given Carlin so many great opportunities.
Here he is, our brother and your state sentinel, Carlin Winter.
Mama said, fulfill the prophecy, be something great. Go make a legacy, manifest destiny. Back in the days we wanted everything, wanted everything. Mama said, burn your biographies, rewrite your history, light up your wildest dreams, museum victories. Every day we wanted everything, wanted everything. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars, but I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a time, but I
Run, Forrest, run! This is one of the most easily recognizable movie lines. So, what line does this come from? Or what movie does this line come from? There we go. Forrest Gump, a movie that depicts a tale of a man who may not be the brightest person in the world, but embarks on some pretty remarkable adventures. The movie begins with Forrest Gump telling the story of his life. We are told that he had to walk with braces strapped to his legs. He was told he wouldn't be able to walk without them. One day, as he was running away from his bullies after school, the braces began to break apart. With each step, Forrest ran faster and faster. Before long, the braces had broke and Forrest outran his bullies. Each one of us can relate to Forrest in one way or another. There are times that we have to lose what is holding us back, even if it's something that is intended to help us. We all have some sort of limitation that we have to overcome. We all have something that we want to achieve. However, achieving great things doesn't come without great challenges. Those challenges can sometimes seem impossible. Before 1954, running a mile in under 4 minutes was said to be impossible. Not only was it impossible, but it was sure to lead someone to their death due to an exploded lung. Among athletes and physicians, this was true. One studying physician said otherwise. Roger Bannister set out to prove that running a mile in under 4 minutes was in fact possible. He spent many years training, and in 1953, he gave his first attempt. He ran a mile in 4 minutes, 3.6 seconds. He was so close to breaking that mile. On May 6, 1954, Bannister was set to race in Oxford, England. He spent the morning of the race ensuring that everything was perfect. He did tasks that seemed so simple and maybe even pointless, but would make the race easier for him, like sharpening his track cleats. As the race started, Bannister set a pace for himself that he thought needed to be faster, until the timer called the time of the first lap. 57.5 seconds. A quarter of the race down and running at a good pace. His time of the second lap, 1 minute, 58 seconds. Still possible. The crowd started to cheer, knowing that the 4-minute mile could happen. His time of the third lap, 3 minutes, 0.7 seconds. His final lap had to be less than 59 seconds. The crowd of nearly 3,000 people got louder and louder as the race drew to an end. As Bannister crossed the finish line, he could no longer stand. Needing assistance, race officials held him up as everyone waited for the time. The announcer stalled for as long as he could. He soon began with the words, 3 minutes. The crowd went crazy. The impossible proved to be possible. The official time of the race was 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. Bannister became the first man to ever run a mile in under 4 minutes. He was told by experts and physicians that what he was trying to do was impossible. He didn't listen to what others said he couldn't do. Too often we listen to what others say we can't do. Bannister's record only lasted 46 days. If these people would have listened to what others said was impossible, it might have taken decades for someone to beat that mile. How often do we listen to what others tell us is impossible? How often do we tell ourselves it's useless? McKady Hawes from the Grantsville FFA chapter has lived without limits. Now, if you know McKady, you probably have heard of 28 Miles West Clothing, a business that positively promotes agriculture. This business was started by McKady and has been a huge success. However, it didn't start out as a success. McKady had to put in hours of hard work, research, and dedication to make her dream a reality. This was no simple task. McKady, like the rest of us, began creating her own limitations. Thinking the business was going to take a lot of time out of her already busy schedule, she hesitated. Also, trying to find a reasonable price manufacturer that met all of the standards she had for the shirts proved to be difficult. The biggest limitation that McKady created was thinking and believing that she would fail. This barrier has stopped so many of us from reaching our potential. Not because we actually fail, but because we are afraid to fail, so we don't even try. McKady found a way to leap over that hurdle. She stopped telling herself that she would fail. She started living without limitations. Because of this, her business did better than she ever expected. Now, think back to something that you wanted more than anything else. Maybe it was making a sports team, taking state, earning a proficiency award, or making a CDE team. Maybe it was making chapter or state office. Something huge or something small. Whatever it may be, think about how badly you wanted that one thing. What did you do to achieve it? Did you work harder than you had ever worked for anything before? Did you succeed or not? What did it feel like? Were you on cloud 9? Or did you feel like a failure? I've been there. I've put so much on the line and have it work out for me. I have also given it my all and have it not work out. What matters in the end isn't if you reach your goal. It is what you do to achieve it that matters. I wanted to be a state officer more than anything else in the world. I worked harder than I had ever worked for anything before. I remember sitting in the hot box with 27 other candidates after all the rounds of interviews, throwing my heart on the line. As the two chairs of the nominating committee started calling the 6 individuals that would represent this association, I remember thinking, okay, State Sentinel, this could be me. We all huddled together, and I heard, from the chapter of Spanish Fork. That's not me. Maybe reporter. From the chapter of Harriman. That's not me. The hope of making the team died with every office that was called. Treasurer, not me. Secretary, not me. I looked down after every office was called, hoping I would be called as the next officer. Vice president, not me. Only one more office. President, not me. As I looked up after all the offices had been called, I thought I failed. Hours of studying, countless practice interviews, numerous writing prompts, all down the drain. I labeled myself a failure. Unknowingly, I began creating limitations for myself. Fast forward a couple of months at my chapter's closing banquet, I took my FFA jacket off for what I thought was going to be the last time. It was there I realized I wasn't a failure. I saw all the accomplishments I had during my time in FFA. I learned your success in life isn't defined by just one experience. As the year went on, I found myself still wanting to be a state officer more than anything. I created a limitation of fear and belief that I wasn't good enough. After many discussions with advisors, parents, friends, I finally decided to run for state office again. I prepared even more, and this time, my efforts paid off. I was selected to serve Utah FFA as a state officer. Now, I want you to think of that one thing that you wanted again. Think about what limits you had. Did you create those limits, or did someone else? As I traveled across the state, I met so many members who inspired me with their goals, dreams, and accomplishments. However, when I asked about what held them back from reaching those goals or dreams, I was told members couldn't achieve something because they had unknowingly set limitations for themselves. Limitations like fear, not enough time, depression, self-doubt, self-confidence, and unexpected events. I heard phrases like, I can't do that because I'm too shy. Someone else is doing that contest and I can't compete with them. Sometimes students started to believe what others said to them. You can't do that because you don't have enough experience. You're not good enough. How do we live without these limitations? I like to think of hot air balloons. Once they're in the air, they stay about the same height. But when the sandbags are removed, the hot air balloon will rise at a rapid pace. The same thing happens to each and every single one of you when you remove your limitations. You rise to greater heights, to greater accomplishments. Sometimes it's hard to remove the things that hold us back. Many times when I found myself surrounded by limitations, I took out 2 pieces of paper. On the first, I wrote 10 things I am good at. And on the second, I wrote anything and everything that was holding me back. I would then burn the second piece of paper and put the first where I could see it every day. This became my reminder of how I was capable of achieving what I wanted. I challenge each and every single person in this room, when you are reaching for that one thing, to take out those 2 pieces of paper. Let your limitations burn. Live a life not constricted by any boundaries. Reach past your fears, insecurities, negative mindsets. Don't let other people limit your life, your goals, or even your dreams. Each of you are capable of achieving great moments if you are willing to live without limitations. Utah FFA, rise above your limitations.
Don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting.
Carlin, even though you are the scariest driver of us all, you still managed to get us where we need to be with our tallywhackers tucked and looking our best. We may not understand why you need a $160 pair of jeans, but we do understand why you were selected to be on this team. Thank you for your friendship. We admire your example of how limitations shouldn't get in our way. The rise doesn't stop here. Love, Sam, Casey, Tristan, Chloe, and Jocelyn. Utah FFA, for the final time, your 2018-2019 State Sentinel, Carlin Winter.
Let's give Carlin one more round of applause. During this session of the CMAs, we have recognized many individuals who have shown their love and passion for the FFA and agriculture through their actions.
We also heard the truly inspiring retiring addresses from our state treasurer, Casey Jones, and our state sentinel, Carlin Winter.
Well, Sam, was being Brad and Carrie for a couple hours fun or what?
Well, at least I didn't get fired from this like I did in my last job.
Wait, what was your last job?
I worked at the M&M factory.
How could you possibly get fired from that job?
I threw away all the W's. Thank you for joining us. Until next year.
Hopefully, not actually. Remember, Sam, we are fill-ins.
Right. Thank you for joining us. Lights out, Logan.
You're a hustler, you've got to hustle. There ain't no time for sleep.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I do, Madam President. I have the following announcements. The Alumni and Foundation are hosting the 2nd annual Forever Blue silent auction from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. today in the David B. Haight Alumni House. The Forever Blue silent auction is being held at the top of the spectrum. All proceeds benefit FFA members through the foundation and alumni scholarships. The Forever Blue reception will be held tonight from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Please note the location has been changed to the David B. Haight Alumni House. There will be a delegate meeting at 2:30 p.m. here in the Spectrum. All delegates need to be present. Courtesy Corps, please meet at the top of Section K for session cleanup. Session 3 entertainment needs to be back behind the stage for practice at 11:30. Don't forget to be back here at 12:30 p.m. for our third general session of the 91st Utah FFA State Convention.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn the third general session of the 91st Utah FFA Association State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this convention hall adjourned until 12:30 for the third general session.
The